The side characters were just like so unbelievably two-dimensional. Really pains me to admit. Oh my gosh. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I thought that I would bring you along with me for a bookish video, bookish vlog, reading vlog if you will. And that is because lately I have been trying to find, no, I haven't even really been trying to find, I've just been wanting to read good books, as you do. And the last few books I've read have just like not been it. I had one book that was a 3-star, which like it wasn't bad, but I kind of just finished it and was like, oh yeah, nice, whatever, I enjoyed that. There was a book I was reading in January that just like took me ages to read, a book in February that I was reading and that took me ages to read. I've had one 5-star this year, and then so now oh that's right, and then I had the book club book that I didn't finish. So then I picked up some books at the library. You saw me pick them up. So I thought I would make this video a video about me trying to find my new favorite book, because for some reason it's been proving difficult lately. So I've got a few library books. I have our next book club book to read, which is Wild Dark Shore, and then I also want to read a Kristen Hannah book this month. It's been a year since I first read one of hers when I read The Women. I just really want to find a good book. So I hope you enjoy. I'll give you little updates along the way as I read, as I finish books, and let you know my thoughts as I read them. And then hopefully I'll end this video with book club. So hope you enjoy reading with me, and let's find my next favorite book, please. Guys, it really pains me to admit, I think I have to DNF this. And I'm like 50 pages in out of, gosh, I don't even know, 310. So it's not even that long a book, but I came into this and the premise was just not what I thought it was going to be. It took a real turn real quick, and it just, fortunately, it's not the vibe. I did try and go on Goodreads and like look at people's reviews, and a lot of people gave it 3 stars. That was the most highly rated, most common ranking was a 3, and I was like, that's not super promising. There were only like 9,000 reviews, ratings on it, which is like not a whole lot in the grand scheme of Goodreads, but I read a bunch of the reviews and a lot of people are saying like they love Sophie Cousins' writing. This wasn't their favorite of hers, but they were like, but I just love Sophie, so like I did end up enjoying it. And I'm like, well, I don't know Sophie yet, so I don't know if that's going to shine through with the premise of this book, which all I'm going to say, it has a heavy inclusion of AI. It was a little bit depresso in terms of like the single online dating world. That is just not what I am wanting right now, especially on the back of so many dud books currently. So I'm gonna give this one a go instead, because I did like this author last time and this does seem like a fun premise. And as I mentioned, did I? You know, I think I mentioned it in my last vlog that it has the setting of a boarding school, which I was like, that seems like a fun time, and I hope it's good. The last one I read by her, Meet Me in Paradise, it had a really like light, fun premise, and then it actually did end up having a lot of depth to it, and I sobbed in it, which as established is not that uncommon for me, but it just like had a lot of heart to it, which I wasn't expecting going in. So I'm hoping that this one does, and that it's not reliant on AI. Oh gosh, guys, it was a weird premise. Some people did really like it, and apparently it's got some big twist near the end as well, which I'm like, okay, what could it have been? But right now, in this stage with me trying to find a good book, this was just not gonna be it. Oh, this was not gonna be it. So I think I'm gonna switch to this. So wish me luck, please. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna start this as I go to bed, and I'll check in with you. Hopefully we stick with it longer than 50 pages. days and I have read a little bit more of my book, so I thought I would give an update because it is 9:30 and I'm about to read a bunch more. I have a chamomile tea up here. You can't see it, that's it there. I am a little bit past halfway, and if you had asked me about half an hour ago if I was enjoying this, I would have said, yeah, it's probably going to be like a 3 stars. I can't imagine myself like really loving it, raving about it to people, but like it's just a cute, easy read, and I'm reading it pretty fast, which I have been. And it's decided to bring in the miscommunication trope, which is just so annoying to me. Like, the main 2 characters have like kind of been bickering, not really bickering, they just got off to on the wrong foot, and then it's just classic. She's a really optimistic person and he's pretty like dry and serious and mean, but he's not really that mean. And there's this scene and she was like, I don't want us to get confused with like spending time together while I help you with this thing. I don't want to be confused if it like means anything more. And he was like, oh, you don't want to be confused? And then got real close, went in for a kiss, and then they got interrupted by housemates. Literally was like gonna kiss her so that she wouldn't be confused, and then she's talking to one of the housemates and she's like, no, I don't think he likes me. I think he's just like, no, in reality he doesn't like me. I'm like, are you serious? He literally was just showing you that he wasn't confused and that he wanted to be something more. Like, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. You can't justify being that confused when he's literally making it so obvious. Anyway, I'll see if it gets better, if it improves, and we'll see if it stays a 3 or if it drops in ranking. But just, I'm literally on the hunt for a next good book. And I'm determined to finish this one because I've been not finishing so many and it's been really bugging me, and I just want to get through this quickly and onto a different book. I think that my next one, actually it's got to be my book club one, which is Wild Dark Shore. I will get my hands on it. I think that will be my next read because it's pretty much guaranteed to be good. And then I think I might even, depending on how emotional that is, I think I might go straight into The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, because I feel like she's a guaranteed great read and an emotional read, and this just isn't doing it, and it's really frustrating me. Anyway, I am gonna read and I'll see how much I get through tonight, and if things improve, we'll see. So I left you last night. I was about to read a chunk and I now have less than 100 pages left because this book is short, thank goodness. And as you may have seen last night, there were in fact some cute moments that have kept me interested. So it's still looking like it's gonna be a 3 stars, but I'm gonna try and finish this tonight. I currently have Survivor on, also painting my nails while the show is on, and then reading in the ad break. And that, my friends, is on multitasking. And yeah, so because I really want to finish this tonight and then just like get started on a new video. Oh my gosh, clearly tired. I'm gonna read so I can start a new book, hopefully find a new favorite. So I'm gonna read. Oops, Survivor's back on. Bye. Don't mind the decorations still up in the background. They all get taken down at some point. Anyway, I wanted to give you an update on the books I was reading. So I finished this one and I don't have too much to say about it. I didn't love it. I think I gave it 2.5 stars on Goodreads, which I was gonna round up to 3, but I think as I was writing it, I ended up rounding it down to 2.5. It like had its cute moments, which is probably why it gets the half star. There were moments where I was smiling and like, oh, that's cute, whatever. But I literally, when I went on Goodreads, I was reading people's reviews that gave it 1 or 2 stars, and I was like, yeah, exactly. It just had promise but no follow through. Stuff that was just like not very realistic about her job, about him, but also not so much him, more her. But literally it got to the end and the last like 30 pages I was just like skimming over it because I was like, I don't really care. And it just was like real cheesy, pretty cringe at times. She moves to this boarding school and lives with 3 male roommates. When I was reading at the park, when you saw me reading at the park, I was like a third of the way through, and at that point she realized that 2 of the roommates were dating, and I was like, huh? When did that happen? And like she didn't know, she found out at that point, and I was like, that's ridiculous, you've been there like a couple months at this point. Anyway, tried to look past that, and then they during the book went away on a trip over Thanksgiving break, whatever, came back, and then it was another, I think 2 weeks after that, she was talking to one of them and he mentioned something about like, oh yeah, like blah blah, like when we get married, which I first read that and was like, oh yeah, like later down the track when they get married, whatever. And she was like, wait, you guys are engaged? And they're like, yeah, you're a bit distracted. I'm like, huh? 1, yes, she's distracted and she should have asked, but 2, why didn't they literally did like a present exchange when they got back from Disneyland and didn't say, oh, by the way, we're engaged. Like, what do you mean? The side characters were just like so unbelievably 2-dimensional. Why are they even there? You don't care about their lives. This is ridiculous. Which was also ridiculous because her whole thing is that she's like not a people pleaser, but she always wants to help people. She like wants to be needed. And I'm like, as if someone who wants to be needed and thrives off being helpful is not all up in their business. Anyway, there was just like so much like that I was just like, okay, cool. The cuteness barely made up for it, because then in the end, even that, I was like, oh, you guys are annoying. So don't bother reading it, everyone. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, and just I wouldn't bother. But now we are on to our book club book, which I did end up deciding to read this before The Great Alone. I think I mentioned that I was deciding between both of those and which one to read first, but I have 2 weeks tomorrow until book club, and I just thought I may as well guarantee that I have read this by book club, and then it doesn't matter if Great Alone spills out of this month, even though it is on my want to read for this month. Oh, which by the way, I will show you my book journal spread for March. It's really pretty. Wild Dark Shore is the book that we are reading, and I started it last night, already hooked. Literally read like 2, well, the chapters are kind of broken up a bit weird. I hadn't read much, I'm like 7% through, but the chapter that I finished with, it's about a dad who has 3 kids. His wife passed away at some point, and they live on this island off Tasmania, I think. It's like a little bit dystopian-ish in that I think like the world's ending and they've been charged with taking care of this like seed vault. So it's literally full of seeds of any kind of plant, vegetation, whatever, that I think it's like if the world were to end, that's how they would regrow, whatever, everything again. So he lives on the island with his kids, and then basically it starts off and this woman has like washed ashore, and it's like, where's she from? What the heck? Who is she? She's unconscious but has like this massive wound in her side, and the kids are a bit like, what's going on? But she's just unconscious. So not much has happened. I'm 7% through. But the chapter ended with the dad being like, he'd like gone down to where they had all these buildings set up, because I think when they first moved there was a bit of a community there of like trying to get this like hub sort of thing started, but now it's just the family. So he goes to all these buildings that are abandoned, and he's like, oh yeah, before the woman wakes up and before anyone comes down here, I got to work cleaning up the blood. And I was like, what does that mean? But I literally had been lying in bed like, I'm so tired, I'm going to sleep as soon as this ends. And then I read that and I was like, just like put it down and went straight to sleep. So I'm very excited to read more of this. Wild Dark Shore, I've heard great things. Very excited, but I just wanted to give you that little update. I actually am going away this weekend for a wedding, which will be fun. I will hopefully get lots of reading in the car, even though I do need to edit some videos, but that's beside the point. Maybe I'll read for a bit now, have some dinner. Abby's been out, but hopefully she'll be back soon. Anyway, so I am going to read a bit. Hey guys, so I finished Wild Dark Shore and oh my gosh, it was an emotional time. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I talked to you when Shah warned me that it was a sad book, and I was like, okay, that's fine, like whatever. And then I was reading it and it got to this certain part in the story about 3/4 through, and I was like, okay, this could be what she's referring to, and like, yeah, this is sad. And I like had a little bit of a cry and was like, yeah, this book emotional, carries a lot of weightiness, I guess. And then I kept reading and I like read it while I was away. I forgot to film a lot of that. But I read it while I was away, and then the day we got back, I ended up staying up until like almost midnight reading it because for some reason I was not tired, even though that whole day I had been so exhausted and like trying to sleep in the car, couldn't do it. And so then I was reading, and I just like kept reading because I just was not tired, and then I was getting closer and closer to the end. And then, yeah guys, it's a sad book. I ended up sobbing, and then I finished the book and then still had to kind of wind down still because I was just like, what? So yeah, that was my journey with that. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it as a book. It was like something it wasn't like anything I'd read, which was fun. And even still, it was like quite digestible still, like quite easy to read, even though it like, so basically it's kind of like, it's set in our world, but it's got a little bit of like a dystopian side to it in that the main female character comes from like the mainland, so Australia. What she has left is that there's like all these bushfires, there's flooding, crops are dying, that sort of thing. So it's not like this super sci-fi dystopian, but it's kind of just like it's a commentary on climate change. So just picture that. The world's falling apart, we've done this to the world, we've now got all these seeds that are protecting it. So anyway, so on the island, there like used to be all this like research facilities, that sort of thing. So anyway, the book starts with the main character washing up on this island, and the family, so it's a dad and his 3 kids, they're kind of like, who is this woman? Why is she here? She's kind of like, who are these people and why is no one else here? Because I thought that there would be other people here. What aren't they telling me? Because she kind of feels like they're lying to her. They feel like she's lying to them. So it's quite a mystery for most of the book, where they start to kind of like hang out and she helps them around the island, but there's kind of just this dance of like, I can't fully trust you, like you're hiding something. So I really enjoyed reading a mystery. I really liked that side of it. And then even just the whole science and nature side of it, so all the seeds and different plants and stuff. I would never be interested in that normally, but I found it quite fascinating, and so I really did like it. Really like it. I'm tired. But then also I have started my next one, so I was gonna go straight onto The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna and just kind of like back it up with another surefire win, probably an emotional book. But then when I finished Wild Dark Shore and it was as emotional as it was, I was like, do I want to go straight into it? But then I also remembered I have this, which is a library book that I need to read in less than a week now. I'll just read this in between and then I'll go on to The Great Alone. And this one, I'm 62 pages in. The text is quite big, so I'm flying through it. I've really only read a few sessions of it and I'm flying through. But the premise is really interesting. So expiration dates. This chick, she's in her early 30s and she lives in LA, and starting from when she was in high school, she would just like find this slip of paper, like it would be left on her car, in her locker, whatever it was, it would make its way to her, and it would just have a name and a date. So the name would be who she is next gonna date. She might have already known them or not known them just yet, but it would have a name and then a date. And so sometimes it was like 3 months, sometimes just 3 days, all different lengths on them. And it's like, yeah, it has an expiration date on it. And she's just kind of been living her life with that's the way that things have gone. And then at the start of this book, she gets a slip of paper and it only has a name on it. It does not have an expiration date. And so she's like, oh my gosh, this is him. This is the one I'm going to end up with. And so that's what the premise is. That's where it started. I'm still kind of very much in that space where she's like gone on a date with him and he's like, oh, this is the guy. He doesn't have a date on it, blah, blah, blah. I do not know where this book is going to go, but I'm liking it. It's quite an easy read. And I've liked other books by this author before, so I'm excited to see where it goes. But that is my little check-in, and we will read this one together over the next few days. So I have had an extremely busy week. Well, actually it's been only a little bit more than averagely busier, but I've had my period this week and it has just Oh my gosh, why can't I get this? It has just absolutely wiped me out, and I have been struggling to focus at work. I've just like felt so sick all week. I felt so tired and exhausted. And you know what I'm extremely grateful for amongst all that? That is the fact that this book is such an easy read. Look how far through it I am. I can't remember what was I up to when I was talking to you yesterday? I feel like, no, maybe not there. I think I read like that much last night, which means I only have this much to go, and the big kind of twist has just happened. This author typically does have a twist near the end. In other ones it's been later than this. I would actually say this is quite early, a lot earlier than I was expecting, but I think I now know where the book's heading and I think I'm gonna like it. So anyway, I feel like I'm up to just like the final stages of this book. Everything feels like it's kind of coming out in the open, and I'm just gonna go to bed and read and hopefully try and finish it. It's like a bit after 9, I think, and so I feel like I'll get through a big chunk of it. I've made myself a peppermint and spearmint tea. I have another wedding to go to tomorrow, and so I'm gonna put my hair in a thing. Tired, guys. I'm gonna style my hair for that, sleep in like a unicorn braid thing, and just have a cozy night. So I'm hoping to finish this, and then I can start on The Great Alone, which is fun. I really want to read that. Although I'm reading the Throne of Glass series with a friend, and my friend just started the next book, which means that I need to get to that pretty quickly. But I think I just want to get another good book under my belt, because so far this is only 2 in a row, and I feel like I need more than that before getting into like a chunky read, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna go read, and I'll let you know if I finish it. I did not see this coming. I have like 30 pages left, and like I think I know where it's gonna end, but I did not see this coming. Whoa. I literally told you there'd been a plot twist, and that just has nothing on this one. I don't know if you could tell, but I just literally skimmed over so much stuff because it was about the dog, and I don't really care about the dog. Whoa. Okay, I reckon I definitely will finish this tonight, but I need to go do my teeth and do my hair, and then I will continue it. Oh my gosh. Okay, hi. This is filmed majorly out of order, and that is because I was just editing the video and I just realized I never gave you my final thoughts on expiration dates the other day. I was reading it and I finished it, and then, oh gosh, say hi to Goldie. I did end up finishing it that night, and then I just went straight to bed, and then I forgot to tell you what I thought of it. I liked it. I think I gave it 3.5 on Goodreads. I liked it. It had a love triangle vibe that I liked. Sometimes I don't love a love triangle, especially if one choice is, in my opinion, the clear choice, or like it's just really obvious who she's gonna end up with, which, if you had read the books of The Summer I Turned Pretty, spoiler, I feel like you'd be able to agree that it's Conrad. The show dived a lot more into Jeremiah, but I feel like in the books it was a bit more obvious, sorry. But yes, so I feel like it takes a lot for a love triangle to be done well, in the way that I like, I should say. So in expiration dates, I liked both choices. Like, I liked both guys, and they both would have meant very different things for her, but it also didn't feel like a love triangle. You as the reader can kind of go, I feel like he's an option, even though he's the obvious option, but it didn't really feel like he was an option until the end of the book. But even still, like, it was getting near the end and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna end. I don't know who she's gonna end up with. But as you saw, there was something that majorly shook me. So I was literally talking to you in the kitchen and was like, oh yeah, the big twist has happened and I've just discovered so much about it, blah, 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 blah. This is a bit earlier than I thought. That's because there was another twist coming. And it caught me off guard. So I think that kept it on the higher end. I think if it didn't have that twist to it, I would have maybe just given it a 3, but I really liked that twist and I liked how it ended and I liked the character revelation and development and stuff. It's a very quick book, very quick and easy read, which I liked. And so I feel like it was a success. And in this video where I was trying to find new good books to like, I did really enjoy it. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a recap of my thoughts of Expiration Dates and to let you know that I did like it, and I would recommend it as just like a nice filler kind of book in between others. I don't think it'll change your world, but it was a good book and I liked it. Didn't like it as much as other books by that author, but that's okay. I am going to continue editing and you'll see book club in 3, 2, 1, I guess. Bye. Rating.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 5.
Yeah, you gave it 5?
But I was in between a 4 and a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it a 4, but I was in between. But I think because the first half I found a little bit slow at times. I feel like I was walking towards the camera.
Yeah, great. Tell the people what you think, George. I've been trying to like sit on it like all week because I loved it and I didn't know if it was going to be like a give it 4 now and then end up being 5 later or vice versa. But I think I've landed on 4.5. Yeah, because I did really love it. Like the whole time I was reading, I was so captivated by the mystery of it because it didn't feel scary. And so it was just like a nice amount of like, I'm interested in this story, but also what the heck is going on?
Yeah, because you weren't like scared of the
Yeah, except for when the brother was like, the brother talked about his violence. I was like, oh, okay, like what did he do? But I liked the different misdirects along the way. Guys, it is a cold day. Heaven, especially because I just got this new cardigan from Kmart. It was $30 and it is just like so warm and crazy. Also, why is this so white on me? Let me see if I can, I don't know, maybe I'm just pale. Anyway, I just had book club, which was so much fun. Hope you enjoyed watching what we all thought. We were in a cafe, so it's kind of hard to film. And I also, I took my camera and I left my SD card at home. Cool. So it was filmed on an iPhone. Not the greatest quality, but that is okay. At least I got footage of book club. It was fun. We all really liked the book and had thoughts. None of it was really polarizing or anything. We all kind of liked the same things, didn't like the same things. We're just generally very gripped by it. Some not at the start, others at the start. As you saw, I was gripped from the start because I had lots of bad books before it. But anyway, we read it, we really liked it. And we also talked about The Map That Leads to You, which was our other book that we hadn't had a book club yet for, and none of us really liked it. So that was a very short discussion. But if you want to join along with our book club at all, our next book is Light Lark, which one of the girls in the group, was her birthday yesterday, and so we got her a little present for book club today, and we got her Light Lark and we all thought it sounded really good, and none of us have read it, so we're gonna read it. If you want to read along, feel free, you can. But yeah, that's kind of the end of this video, I think. Yeah, I just want to say thanks again for all the subscribers. I'm now at over 300, which is not a whole lot in the grand scheme of YouTube. It is not anywhere near what other people have, but that is okay. It's like far exceeded my expectations coming into this year, and again, all gratitude goes to God for that, because it just wouldn't have happened without him. And I just hope that you like these videos, and I hope you stick around. Tell your friends about me. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, join the fun. But yes, I will see you in the next video, and I hope you liked this one. So bye, God bless you.